Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's special interview. I'm super excited because we have a guest who's making waves in a unique and inspiring corner of the music world. Today, we're sitting down with Mike, an
Hi.
incredible, hi, an incredible musician from the USA who composes, records, and produces music for kids, and he also shares them on Pixabay. And not just any music, Mike's music is designed to educate, entertain, and help children grow. So let's dive into this world of fun, creativity, and educational bits. Mike, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here today. Um,
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for joining. So, making music for kids is such an incredible and powerful thing to do. First of all, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? How many instruments do you play? What kind of music do you like to record and produce? Everything.
Sure. So I have like a traditional composition background. I went to school for that. I got all the way through to PhD. I did the film scoring program at NYU and then PhD University of Hawaii. Um, so I learned how to write for classical instruments and more traditional instruments. But then as the technology was coming together, um, I found that I started going back to my older background of, in high school and college of being in rock bands, playing electric guitar, playing, acoustic guitars and keyboards and,
Yeah.
more of those kind of instruments, because those are the things I could do immediately and record and make songs
Mhm.
as opposed to using fake instruments, fake violins, and all these things that people are doing, which I
Yeah.
can also do. But it was funner to me to actually play all the instruments and, sort of add little things here and there.
So awesome. And can you tell us what inspired you to focus on music for kids? Like, was it something you always wanted to do, or it kind of evolved over time and you end up doing music for kids?
Yeah, I have kids, so they're kind of beyond the age of the kind of songs I'm doing, but maybe not all of them, but I just like I've been teacher on and off my whole life. Have taught kids, younger kids, preschool age kids, every age. I've also taught college. Um, but I always was kind of disappointed with the caliber of kids' music out there and
Yeah.
how people thought if something is written for kids, it has to sound stupid or simple or
Mm,
easy or whatever.
yeah.
And it can't be in a more sophisticated style or fun style. And so just in the last couple of years, I've always wanted to do it. In the last couple of years, I'm like, wait, why am I not doing this? I have everything right here. I don't have the best voice in the world, but I can sing and I can make something that represents what I think, would be funner and nicer for kids, and especially for adults, because you have to listen to those songs as a parent over and over and over again.
Yeah,
You don't want to
exactly. I
listen
thought
to
of that.
something that sounds mundane and you
Totally.
know and sounds like it was specifically made for kids. You just want to hear something nice.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. I just thought that when I discovered your music on Pixabay because it was like very interesting and you can hear the organic part of your music. Like you can tell that it's live recorded and that has something special to it. And more nowadays that we have all this great music, but sometimes it's very, very produced, very kind of synthetic. And I think that for kids, it's something that you want to bring them closer to music, also for them to discover what music is. And then for parents, as you said, that they will be listening and they will have to learn these songs and sing them out loud. I think it's very interesting to have your songs because, I mean, once I have kids, I will use your songs for sure. So
Thank you.
very cool to, that you are sharing that with the world. Yeah. So yeah, now I would also like to know about your process. Is there any technique, any method that you use when it comes to writing music for kids?
Yeah, I usually start with the lyrics. I had done some public domain songs, so those songs are the lyrics are already written. But even with those,
Mhm.
you can do whatever you want. You can change the order, you can add verses. I did a version of Baby Shark, but I added a chorus. It doesn't exist because the song doesn't, it's just Baby Shark, Baby Shark, Baby Shark. So I was
Yeah.
like, I should add something to that to break it up. And so I did that. Um, so I'll try to write a lyric, I'll try to figure out the basic structure of the song through the lyrics.
Mhm.
How many choruses are going to be, how many verses and all that. And then once I have that, I'll just pick up an instrument like uh guitar, ukulele,
Oh, so nice.
keyboard, whatever, and then just start noodling around and figuring out what what sounds good, what kind of style it's going to be on, the chord progression, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Can you tell us about a specific song or project that you're especially proud of? And
Yeah, we're talking about original songs.
Mhm.
Let me get my guitar. I was kind of like I did the ABC song. I recorded the traditional ABC song in kind of a rock, indie rock kind of style, and that was fun. And then I was like, I want to do another one, and I want to do something with numbers, but I just don't like any of the. I don't like any of the traditional number songs, like the the Barney song. This old man, he played one, he played knick-knack. I didn't want to do that. And then there's some Coco Melon stuff, and I want to do any of that stuff. So I just wrote one because I thought I'll just write something.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
I did. So I came up with 1, 2, 3. It's a very good way to start. It sounds like a lot of chords, but at its core, it's really just 4 chords. Uh, 1, 2, 3. It's a very good way to start. So we got C, 1, 2, 3, B flat. It's a very good way to F minor. Very good G way to start. But I wanted to put the in between chords in, so I added all these chromatic notes. 1, 2, 3, it's a very good way to start. And with the chords, 1, 2, 3, it's a very good way to start. Give it a little bit more of a bass line, a little bit more excitement.
I think it's so inspiring the fact that, you didn't like many songs and you, instead of just being like, I don't like it, you just went and created your own and you rearranged some famous ones. And you also mentioned that you use public domain songs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
sometimes, which I think it's very useful also for people who may be interested in doing something similar.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's the same thing with them. Like, so this is a public domain song called "All the Pretty Little Horses," and its basic 4 chord form. It sounds like this: Hush-a-bye, don't you cry, go to sleepy little baby. It's pretty just like that, but um, if we add a few more chords, it kind of changes the sound. Keep the melody exactly the same. Hush-a-bye, don't you cry. Go to sleepy little baby. And then we can kind of move it stylistically into a different category. Now, maybe it's a jazz song, a cool jazz song with a nice walking bass and some piano. And coincidentally, that chord progression is in another song that's also public domain, so it works for that one too. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day. That's a chorale that was written 400 years ago. That's not exactly how it's played or sung,
Uh-huh.
but it works with that melody, right? So
Yeah,
why not change it? Everyone's
totally.
heard it the other way.
Yeah, it's already in our mind. So yeah, that's so cool. And now, Mike, for anyone out there who's interested in creating music for kids or just starting out in the world of children's music, do you have any tips or advice? Like, how can someone take their love for music and translate it into something meaningful for kids.
Yeah, just do it, just there's so many programs like GarageBand if you're a Mac person, and I do
Yeah.
Logic, but Logic is essentially just a little more complicated version of GarageBand.
Hmm.
Just think of a song that you want to sing, uh, and find a nice key that you can sing it in that works with your voice,
Yeah.
and then make an arrangement of it, pick the verses you like, and maybe change it up a little bit, maybe
Yeah.
change the order of the verses, or maybe do it in a different key that it's normally done in. Play an instrument you're really comfortable with, and then just sing it how you feel it.
Really.
Don't try to sing it. You don't need to sing it like anybody else. Try to come up with your own version of it.
I like that. Yeah. Great. So cool. And now, would you like to share with us some of your projects so we can see
Yeah.
different stems and how you work on it?
Okay, so this is the number song. So I just show you how I build it up.
Okay.
I I play the electric bass live, and then I do that in conjunction with the drum track, which I usually the drum track is MIDI instrument.
Mhm. Great.
So I'll just play what it sounds like with the drums and the bass. So you
Nice.
have to have the whole thing arranged and written in advance, right? Um,
Yeah,
because
that's the foundation, no?
when you play the bass and the drum, you got to know, okay, how many times am I singing the verse? Okay, what happens next? Is there a little guitar break here? You have to know all of that before
Yeah.
you record anything. And then
Hmm.
you start, and then you're getting down basic structure, just like an old school recording session where you're doing one track at a time.
Yeah.
Like it's so now we add acoustic guitar. So with acoustic guitar, I do a hard pan right and left. So I actually record two guitars, two separate guitar parts. They're playing exactly the same thing. I record one that goes all the way on the left and one that goes all the way on the right, to give it a more. It just kind of makes it feel a little more present.
Yeah.
And I can demonstrate what it sounds like with just one. This is just with one guitar on one side. So now I'll do two.
Okay.
You'd
Yeah.
think it would sound weird having it all the way. It's a hard pan all the way to the right. It's as far right and left as you can go, but it somehow it equals out, and it just kind of makes it feel kind of
More
present.
stereo and yeah.
Yeah, more stereo. Yeah, it's a
Great.
trick I learned from people that were back in the old school days of rock recording. They used to do, well, they still do, rhythm guitar like that on a rock album, and you get that really fat, guitar
Yeah.
sound.
There's like more
You can,
presence to it.
yeah, yeah. So then I add organ. So this is something I like to use in a lot of different things. It could be in jazz, or it could be in rock. It just adds I like a kind of vintage feel. So this adds kind of a nice little
Yes.
character to it.
Yeah, I like that. Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. And then at lead vocals. So this is just with one vocal. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's a very good way to start. 1, 2, 3. It's a very good way. It's a very good way to start. Now I'll add some backing vocals.
Great.
There's a lot. I have how
Wow,
many?
so
Nine.
cool.
I have 9 backing vocal tracks,
Mhm.
just for me, and then I had my daughter sing on it too, so she's got a couple. Um,
Nice.
Another thing you could do with instruments or with voice is, like, let's say you want to have a chorus sound. This is what they did on Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Like they didn't bring in a chorus, but if they wanted a chorus sound, then they just keep re-recording it, overdub. So they do one voice, and then you sing with yourself. And you do the same thing, same exact uh,
Yeah,
part, but you're singing it twice, now 3 times, now 4 times, now 5 times. The more you sing it, the bigger sound you get. So I wanted
totally.
that on the 1, 2, 3 part. I wanted a big sound, like you're in a stadium or something. So I add
Yeah,
just the same part, not
yeah,
necessarily
creates this
one.
effect of group. That's true. And but you have to
Yeah.
be very like you have to be very rhythmic, right? To just do the same attacks and know when you have to breathe and stop and cut. Like it's not easy, no?
No, no, you're a musician, right?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
drummer. I also sing a little bit, but that's why I tell because it's very important when I try to do this, like stacking different vocal recordings. Sometimes you have the lead and that's fine, but then you start doing like different harmonies and wow, it's difficult. Yeah.
yes, yeah. You said it exactly right. You have to be very precise. You have to listen to what you did, and then you have to copy what you did. So you don't want to make a mistake the first time. You want to do it
Totally.
perfectly, and you want to pick. So a lot of times I'll do the first one like 9 times until I get a really good one. Then I'll go, okay, copy that one, and then
Yes.
overdub on that one. Then the next ones are easier to do. But yeah, something that really like makes a difference on vocal stuff is the release at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
So if you're hitting like a T at the end of the word, you get the T in exactly the same place, and you can edit that a little bit, but
Yeah,
that's
but you
kind of
can tell.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so here's what the backing vocal.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's a very good way to start. 1, 2, 3. It's a very good way. It's a very good way to start. 4, 5, 6. It's a very good way to start. 4, 5, 6. It's a very good way to start. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. It's a very good way to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a very good way to start. These are the numbers we all know. We'll learn more as we grow the numbers.
Yeah,
Wow, it's so cool, Mike. Wow, it's really so cool how you like mix all the different voices and then you have like the more like low and then I think you're doing an octave and
yeah,
like higher pitch. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, so cool. And how then you rhythmically changed the melody a little bit so it creates like this, difference from the first verse. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for noticing that. Yeah, it's fun. The more time you spend with it, the more ideas you get, and then sometimes you just dump those ideas. But what I like to do is I like to record everything that I think I might need, and then you become the producer, and then you go, okay, let's get rid of this. Let's take this down to just acoustic guitar, bass only here. Let's wait until the second verse to bring in the electric
Yeah,
guitar, whatever it is, and then so you get a kind of variety of different sounds throughout the song.
totally. Yeah. So cool. Sounds great.
Thank you. I have to do this for my daughter. So
Nice.
yeah, I'll start a little bit later, but this is hers. My daughter sings on it.
Very good way to start. 1, 2, 3. It's a very good way. It's a very good way to start. 4, 5, 6. It's a very good way to start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
she did really good.
good.
She's 9. That's
Wow.
you're a musician. I mean, that's a chromatic melody. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily super easy to sing.
totally.
But
Impressive. Wow.
if something is tuneful enough, you know, it doesn't really matter the level of singer as long as it's kind of intuitive to
Yeah,
sing.
that's
You
true.
know, you can do
Yeah,
almost. Even listen to the Beatles, that they're always doing stuff like that.
that's
And
true. Awesome. So would you like to share any other thing, or
yeah, let me pull up one.
is this an original song?
Yeah, so this is one of the first ones I wrote. Then I kind of went back to the to the public domain stuff, the
Yeah.
more traditional songs. But so I was just we were living in Hawaii at the time, and
Wow.
they have these amazing sea turtles, the green sea turtles. Um, you swim in the ocean, and they're just right there, and they're very friendly, and they
Wow.
just swim right next to you, and they're just majestic. You know, you don't think of a turtle as being majestic, but um, they uh, they fly when they're underwater. You know, they're doing this, and it looks like
Yes.
they're flying. It's really neat. But then it's also funny because you see them like they're eating this. They're always eating like stuff. They're always eating algae and seaweed and stuff. And then they'll come up to the surface and they burp.
Yeah. Funny.
Sometimes you can hear them burping. It's very funny. Yeah. So I thought it'd be funny to write a song about that.
Yeah.
So I just share the whole thing with that. Yeah, I'll just share a little bit of the whole song.
Perfect.
But this one is incorporating the ukulele and more. There's no guitar in this. It's ukulele and bass and then drums.
Cool. Yeah.
Munching seagrass, weeds and algae, very busy. She always will be flying through the waters deep, the ocean blue, the coral reef. Now it's time for her to breathe to the surface with her beak. Too much seaweed she has slurped. Here it comes, the turtle burps. She swims in water.
So that the
So
that
cool.
part. Oh, thanks.
She swims
This
in
part
water out of reach.
is called the Hawaiian turnaround. It's something you hear in a lot of. You know, if you're into music theory, it's 5 of 5,
Uh-huh.
5 of 1, and anyway, so I thought, okay, that'll give it a nice a Hawaiian flavor. You know, with the
Yeah, and
ukulele.
also the fact that you chose an ukulele instead of a guitar, I think it also adds to the Hawaiian vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then this part, let's see if I can get to this part.
To breathe to the surface with her beak. Too much seaweed she has slurped. Here it comes.
Something I do sometimes, like I'll borrow, I have this composition background, so I'll borrow something from like more like classical sound, classical. That's like a classical sequence that you
Yes.
might have heard in like Vivaldi or something, and
Yeah.
you just shuffle it in there and see if it'll work.
Wow. It's super interesting to know also about the theoric and music theory part and side of your songs, because there's a lot of details that you are very aware of, and that I think it's very important for people to know that anything here, it's, randomly. I mean, like, you have really all this knowledge, and it's very important for people to know about music theory. I think nowadays, as I shared in the beginning, you can make music by dragging different tracks and loops, and that's a
Yeah,
very valid way of, and a lot of great artists make music that way. But I think that there's something that doesn't mean that you shouldn't know how music theory works, because that will give you an amazing amount of different options, and you will know when you will be listening to other things how that is done and what was the
yeah,
logic behind it. And I think it's very important for musicians to know about that. So
yeah.
it's
Just
now
listening to
you
a
feel
variety of
free to
music.
share all of that now, because I think I'm learning so much, and I'm sure that everyone who will be listening will be also learning about that, and will notice and know how important it is, because now you can tell. So yeah, thanks for sharing that as well.
No, thanks. Yeah, yeah. Just I like listening to a variety of music too is great. And it just feeds you. And at a certain point, you have to stop and then start creating. Um,
Yeah.
but it's they call us composers, right? Because we're composing elements of writers too, right? It's composition, writing composition. The words
Yeah,
are already there. Even the way words are put together exist already in all of our languages, right? And
yeah,
music too. You know, every combination has kind of been explored, but let's put it together in a new way that's different. Let's compose it, put it together, and create something new. And
exactly.
that's kind of the the thing.
Yeah, and it is a very creative act and art of, we are working with sound, but sound has a lot of elements, and it's very, yeah, we have rhythm, we have melody, we have harmonies, how voices, how each texture, everything creates a story. So I think it's a very beautiful art that we get to experience and that we get to create. So yes, thank you for sharing. Also, I heard your daughter in this one as well. Did she record some vocals?
Oh, my son, actually,
Ah,
he
your
was.
son.
We did this a couple of years ago, and he was younger then. So now his voice changed. So we're trying to figure out how to work him in. But yeah, it was he has this. He had the same range then as she has now. So
Yes. Wow, that's so cool.
yeah,
You have a very talented family.
yeah, they're all playing like musical instruments and stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the art of mixing. Do you mix and master these songs by yourself?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Impressive. Oh my God. You do everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
I can't wait to hear more songs of yours. So, Mike, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your inspiring journey with all of us and everyone on Pixabay. Your music is truly valuable and unique. So, I wish you all the best in your upcoming projects and songs.
thank you, Julia. It was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to do this.
Saying it was a pleasure to meet you. And to everyone's watching, if you've been inspired by Mike's music, which I'm sure you did, and you want to learn more, don't forget to check out his work on Pixabay. I will link his profile in the description. And thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a
All right.
nice day.
Thanks. Thanks, Julia. You too.